7 years after they broke up, he wanted to know if she still had a place for him in her heart. So, he deliberately picked up a glass of mango milk, something he was severely allergic to, and downed it in one gulp. She didn't even try to stop him. She just turned and walked away without hesitation. In that moment, he was sure she must have forgotten all about his allergy. But what he didn't know was that the second she walked through the door, she had noticed. She just forced herself not to care. She had erased every detail about him, every favorite food, every little quirk, from her memory, because she didn't want any more ties to him. 7 years earlier, she had been the pampered daughter of a wealthy family. Back then, she made a bet with her best friend. She could easily win over the heart of a poor scholarship student, and then ruthlessly dump him. She remembered watching him eat cheap cafeteria meals, and how she'd slide her own delicious food across the table to him. She'd tell the cooks to swap out all the green peppers for sweet peppers because green peppers made his stomach hurt. He had never dared to believe someone like her could truly like him, but with her relentless pursuit, he fell for her completely. He even spent all his savings, 200 yuan, to buy her a pair of shoes. What he didn't expect was for her friends to laugh at him. To them, her shoes were worth at least 30,000 yuan. She had never worn anything so cheap in her life, and they couldn't believe she'd lower herself just for a stupid bet. That was the moment he realized his love had been nothing more than a joke to them. That night, he confronted her. Was this whole thing just because of some bet? She pulled her hand out of his and said coldly, "You're just a poor man. We have no future." What he didn't know was that she had already fallen for him. But when she found out his father had died in an accident on one of her father's construction projects, she decided they could never be together. 5 years passed. Her father's business collapsed, and she fell from her pedestal into poverty. To pay for her mother's medical bills, she worked dozens of part-time jobs. Still, it wasn't enough. Desperate, she decided to stage an accident with a luxury car, hoping for a payout. But fate had other plans. She ended up hitting his car. The second he saw her, he rushed forward and pulled her into his arms. 7 years of bottled-up emotions hit them both at once. He never imagined their reunion would be like this. The next morning, she woke up to find him walking into the room. She froze, but then remembered her mother's medical bills. Forcing herself to stay calm, she awkwardly asked him for 35,700 yuan in compensation. He didn't hesitate. He transferred the money instantly. Then, in a flat voice, he told her his lawyer would be in touch. And with that, he left. A nurse came in and, without thinking, mentioned how he had sat outside her door all night, rushing in every time she so much as shifted in bed. Her emotions were a tangled mess. The next day, his lawyer came to her with surveillance footage proving she had staged the accident. They demanded she pay 160,000 yuan in damages within 3 days. With no other choice, she went to his company. But without an appointment, security wouldn't let her in. On impulse, she told the receptionist she was pregnant with his child. That got her sent to a waiting room immediately. Upstairs, when his assistant reported what she had said, he scoffed. He knew it was a lie. He told his assistant to have her thrown out. But then, he heard her name. He grabbed the phone, hung up, and rushed downstairs. Employees whispered behind his back they had never seen him meet with a woman in the office before. When they finally sat face to face, she reminded herself over and over that 7 years had changed everything. She needed to kill any hope or feeling she still had. He sat down and immediately